Hello everyone, welcome back. We are back for part 2 and maybe part 3, I don't know, but so far we're in part 2 and actually we've come a long ways. I mean, you know, we had 2.5 hours of work, but we're almost halfway through with this journal. So I feel like we're on track. So you guys, thanks for coming back. And I've got a fresh coffee. I'm good to go. I've got clean water. And so I'm all ready to get going again. Who's back with me? Did I lose anyone? Comments. Where are you guys? Okay, Ruth Ann says we're back. All right, we're back in business. Krista is back. Yay, Krista is here. is here. Yes, great. Yes, hello, Roberta. You're back on. Great. All of my diehards. We're going to finish this today, you guys. We for sure are. Yes, hot coffee right here. Hit the microwave and filled it up. So I'm good to go. Pouring rain. Yeah, it's pouring like crazy. I can't believe you guys can't hear it. You probably can. It's absolutely buckets coming down. Vicky, hello. Vicky is still here. Sherry, hello. Diana. Okay. All right, everyone. Let's get back to it. We're going to get back to our next project. We only have 3, we have 3 scenic foundations to finish, and then we have the cover that we're going to do, and then the last little page for the little booklet. So we're going to get to it. Roberta, she's here till the end. Marianne, here till we finish. Yes. Yes, great. Oh, Sandy, freezing has started. Everybody else see okay? Tony, good morning. I'm here to the end. If I can keep up, you can. You will keep up. You know what? I'm going to try to go slower. And you know what? If some of the details you have to put in later, that's okay. Just, stay up as best you can and then watch the tutorial later and catch up on those little details if you need to. I'm just glad you're here. I'm glad you're here with me so that even though I am talking to myself and to my phone, I know that you guys are out there and listening. So I also have my charger so that my phone doesn't die. So I'm kind of getting that out of the way here. Okay. Linda has been on since the beginning, watching and loving it. Oh, good. Learning so much. I'm so glad. I am so glad. That's my goal, that I teach you something new. Jeannie, she's on for the day. Yes. Vicky. Vicky, you are just the best. She says, my plan is to spend my entire day with you. Vicky, you are the best. Suska, am I pronouncing that right, Suska? That is the most beautiful name. I just love that. She's here for the marathon. Deborah, she says, I stopped by to say hi, but I'll be leaving soon for orchestra. Wow, I play the bassoon and we're performing Hansel and Gretel. Oh, how amazing. Wow. I admire musical ability because that is one thing I do not have. I don't have musical ability at all. And I just admire people who can play instruments and just hear the music and hear if something's off. And I have no ability for that at all. So how neat for you. Okay, let's get to it. So I have the next one here, and let me just see if I can get this back on the screen a little bit farther. Maybe it just needs to twist. Oh, whoops. Okay, the cord just came crashing down, but we're all good. All right, so let me make sure. That I have this in the right area here. And let me make sure that I am getting my comments still coming in. Okay. All right. So it looks like we are back on good. And you can see this in the screen. It's just a little bit delayed here. So I just want to make sure that I'm in the center of the screen and you guys can see this okay. All right. So I'm going to zoom in just a little bit. If I zoom in too much, it focuses too much on my hand and then it just goes blurry. So I don't like it when it does that. All right. So we are on to the shepherds and the little sheep. So we're going to do this little project. This is a really easy one. These are going to go faster now, you guys. The first couple of ones took a little bit longer. So we're going to go a little faster with this one. So the first thing we're going to do, obviously, just like the others, is we're going to pull the color out of the lines. And I'm just going to get my number 4 brush. And I'm going to do that exact thing. So I'm just going to kind of go along this sheep. And I'm just going to, you know, pull this color out of the line. So keep in mind that the light is coming from here. So there is a bit of a shadow from the back. So, you know, the back of his head is going to be just a little bit darker because the light is kind of shining on his face. And the same with this one. We're going to kind of see this shadow on the back. And even though it's kind of shining from above, even things that are white can really have a lot of shadow on them. So I want to kind of make sure we're doing that. All right, really, there's not too much to do with these sheep at all. I'm just going to add a little of my black, and you can use any black or gray, really. Not that one. Let's see, where's my black? Here. This is the N25. And this one works really well. So it doesn't, you know, like I said, it doesn't have to be, it doesn't have to be this specific black. And I'm just going to get their little ears. On here like this. I have lost my comments. So let me just see what is going on here, where my comments are. Oh, here we go. Okay. Linda says, coffee cup refilled and some M&Ms ready to go to the end. Yes, Linda, I may or may not have grabbed a handful of chocolate as well. So I get it. Okay. I see my comments now. Okay, good. That was just, I just couldn't see where you guys were. And I thought I had lost you for a second. And so I didn't want that to happen. All right. So I'm just doing their little hoofs right here. And just getting their little ears and, you know, this little guy's nose. Like so. And really, that's all we really have to do with these little sheep. There's not, you know, there's not a lot more. We're going to add some white to them, some white paint just to give them a little more texture. But really, this is going to be it for the coloring. Now I'm kind of pulling this color down from the other side because I want them to kind of feel like they're up a little bit higher and kind of up on a little hill. So we're going to do that, kind of do that same thing over here. And that little barn is kind of down in the valley. All right, so let's get some color onto this barn. And really, it's pretty old and rustic. So, you know, we don't have to do a lot. It's going to look kind of faded out. And then we're going to add some white paint because you can see these lines on here. We don't want to see those if there's snow. If it's snowy on the roof, we don't want to see the lines like that. So you can also just wash them out. Take your brush with a little water and you can just wash them out. And the same with this one here. We can just kind of take that all out of there. And then we can add some snow onto it with our white paint later on. Okay, so I'm going to put in my sky right now. I'm going to do the same thing because we're going to put a star in. So on this one, you can see this page here. I use my silver pen and I just put a star in. I just thought it looked so cute. So you see the white area in the middle? We want to kind of gradiate that sky so that it looks like it's glowing in the middle. So we don't want that sky to be too dark where that star is glowing. So we're going to take that color and we're going to start in the corners, and then make sure you get enough water on your brush so that you can push that color around. And we're going to have our trees in here too. So really it's kind of just mostly this area, you know, next to the barn where we want to really get that, make sure that's really showing light. And really, you know, when you're putting the sky in, when I do it, I really just kind of push it around, push the color around. It's not really brush strokes. I'm not going up and down in an up and down motion. I'm really just kind of pushing it around. And then this area in the center, we're just going to kind of drag this all to the center. We want a little bit of color in there so that it's not completely white, but we just want to show that that color is darker over here. And then it's glowing and lighting up the sky. Okay, so now let's see, what should we do next? Let's get our, let's get the little fence, let's get the little path in. So we're just going to take a little bit of color and just put a little path in just like this. Just like that. And then we can take a little bit and just kind of make a little bank on the edge. Just a little bit of color. And I'm just going to add a little of this brown. So I'm just using this brown from my palette, the 969. And I'm going to just actually just mix a little blue with it so that it's just kind of an old, kind of an old rustic looking barn. It's got different colors in it because maybe the paint's just, you know, wearing off, and it's just it's not a really pretty, beautiful barn. And then we've got this shadow back here. And the wider you make this shadow, the farther that overhang is, and the more it sets back your wall. And I'm just going to go in here now with this dark brown. And I'm going to just make this really dark, this opening here. And get these little windows in as well. And you know what? If you want to add a few more windows, you can do that too. So cute. I just love this little barn. I just think he's so cute. And let's make sure that's really dark here where that's coming out. All right, so now let's get our trees in, and then we'll get our fence in. And really, we'll add our white paint, and there's not a lot else we have to do with this one. This one's pretty simple. Let's do a shadow here. So the shadow is going to come behind. See how that just comes behind, and actually the bulk of it would be back here because that light is showing directly on this little lamb. And this one too, this little shadow too. All right, so now let's go ahead and put our trees in. We're going to put these guys in, a couple of bigger trees. And we're going to leave this area open so that they have a clear vision of the star. So let's put this one in. Let's put this one in here. And let's see, let's just do a smaller version. Let's put this one in here. And then we want just a small one, maybe right here. Another one there. And then let's add our water. And don't you find that the more you do these trees, and the more projects that we do, the easier they get? I think that has to do with your confidence and not overthinking things. You know, you just have to, it just takes practice to get to that point where you can kind of automatically do things without really thinking about it too much. And that's a good place to get to. Because that is when the projects, when they really get to be fun. And I see this little spot here where I stamped on that? I'm just going to put snow on it, white paint, because I want these little trees to kind of look like they're on the other side of this hill. And we're just going to get a little shadow here also with these trees, kind of a long cast shadow because of that light from the star. And I just am going to just darken these little ears a little bit more. Make these just a little darker. Okay, so now let's see, what should we do? Let's get our white paint in, and then we can put in our fence. So where is our paint? And just you know, dip it in the water, and then dip it back into your paint and just kind of mix it around a little bit. And you know, a little bit of water really makes a difference. Just lay this on here. You guys are going to be pros at these trees. Absolute pros. Okay, let's go down to these little guys. Just gonna lay that on there. And see, I'm gonna just take my white paint and I'm just gonna take that right out of there. And I'm gonna just take some of this line out. You know, this is really kind of a harsh line here. So I'm just gonna run my white paint on there. And then we want to get some white paint on this roof. And I want to just add some white to these little sheep, some texture. I don't know if you can see it really well on the camera, but I'm just kind of adding this white to make them look furry. Soft and furry. Okay, now let me clean my brush off, and I'm going to go to my small brush so we can get our snow in the sky. All different kinds of snowflakes, which is also why I really like putting the snow in with a brush, because they're not all just perfectly round. They're all kind of all different sizes. Big snowflakes, small ones. And I'm just going to run a white line right along that little path. And what that does is it kind of drops it down inside. And it looks like the snow is way deeper down there. Okay. That looks good. So I'm going to now, let's get our blue shadow in. Let's get our blue shadow in underneath our snow. This is another thing that you could go back and do later too. Some of these little details, just like putting the windows in, if you're struggling to keep up a little bit, that's something you can do later too. Even after you have it in your journal, you can just go back and put the blue under the white snow. And then let's just do a blue line. On our little barn. Okay, so I think what we have left to do is the fence. So I took that little fence that goes with the barn, this kind of little wonky one right here. So let's do this one. I want to make sure that the short side is on the bottom. The short side of the fence is on the bottom this way. Put those in the corner up there. And then we're going to use 2 colors. So the dark blue and then the dark brown. And I think we can just probably put it right here. And then I think, let's see, where's my tape? Just want to cover this. And just a little bit of this. Just huff on that. And I think we might have to just darken that a little bit. And we can. We'll just use a little twin tone. Rather than trying to stamp it again and getting it in the right place. And this one, we can kind of make it go off the edge of this little hill. Just by kind of dragging it down there. It just kind of looks like it's going off, down off the hill. And I think we can probably get one more. Oops. One more, maybe right here. Okay. And I'm just going to go get this a little bit darker on this side. This would really, kind of be in the shadow with the light coming from over here. So let's get our little shadows. And just lightly, just drag that over, just to get the idea of that fence. Okay. That looks pretty good. So now let's put our star in. And let's take this off. The reveal. You guys, the reveal is always the funnest part. Taking all the paper off. Sign. Whoops, not that end. And I'm just going to make sure this is really dark here. Anytime you can make something dark, I know I've said this before, it really makes it dramatic, much more dramatic and more three-dimensional. And it's actually really dark right under here, up in there. Okay, so let's do our, make sure this is all dry. I think it is. Feels like it is. How inky are your hands, you guys? How inked up are your hands? Let's see, that says, Lenny shows how to add one simple little line and how it changes the perspective. Yes. Isn't that crazy? That's what changes everything. These tiny little things take it from that coloring book page where everything is flat, and it's a few little tiny things, and they really do change everything. They really do. But that's what is so fun about it. It's so fun about it when you kind of learn these tricks. Like, they're just so fun. It's fun to do. People just love it. They can't believe that you've actually made this painting. I mean, it's the best. Okay, so I've got my silver pen, and I'm going to use a ruler. Let's see. Let me get a straight edge here. So I'm just going to draw a straight edge like this. So kind of line it up along the edge and just draw a straight line down like this. And you can kind of eyeball it across. You know, if you want to just make sure, you can you know, draw a straight line. But, you know, if this line is straight, I think that's kind of the biggest one. And then, you know, you can just make these little dots shining out. And I just think, is that just the cutest? That's so cute. So cute. I love using these pens. They're so much fun. Okay, so now we've got this one done. We're down 4, you guys. We're on to number 5. Number 5, and that is this one with the little wagon. This one was the, this one took me the longest to kind of figure out because it goes with the reference of the wise men coming and the gifts. And I wasn't quite sure how to show that, the concept of it. And so I put the bells in because the bells are bringing out the news. I put the ornament in because I think of, you know, like a gold, you know, a beautiful gold ornament. And then the gift. So, you know, I don't know if you get that or not, but that's kind of where I was going when I was thinking about this little, this wagon and the gifts and the outside of the little house and, that whole concept of that. So tell me. And I can't figure out how you don't get ink on the paper from your hands. Oh, I do get ink on there, but you know what, my eraser takes a lot of it off. And I gotta tell you guys this other tip I saw, and I don't have it with me, but you know, the, magic erasers, you know, the Mr. Clean magic erasers. So if you tear a little piece off of that and get it wet, it will take off your watercolor lines. So if you make a mistake, and you know what, I should usually always have one around here. I saw somebody use it, and again, I should have written it down so I can give credit to the person who showed it, but it was on a reel or it was on a YouTube or something like that. But this person that was using it tore a little piece off of a magic eraser, got it wet, you know, wring it out, and then you can just rub it off on everything. It just takes it right off. I couldn't believe it. It works great. It really does work great. So keep that in mind too. But I do get my fingers on stuff. In fact, I just did on Wednesday. I got a big watercolor red thumbprint. So I do, Edna. I sure do. Okay, let's go on to this one. So I got to get my tape on here before I forget. Let's go on to this little guy. This one really is fun to do. Tape that on there like that. And this one. Okay, so now we're going to add our trees and everything in just like we had before. We've got our little path, so we already know how to do that. We're going to do it the exact same way. And just drag that color to the inside. So let your brush kind of go alongside that line and just let that color just kind of bleed out. Just let it bleed out into the center. And then we'll add just a little bit more of this color, kind of as we come down the path. And it's still, you know, it still looks kind of flat, doesn't it? When you're doing a path this way, it still looks kind of flat until we add that bank and build up that snow on the side. And then it really just kind of changes. So let's go on to the house. And this little house is going to be white. So that means we've got a shadow. in here like this. We're going to have a shadow under that overhang like that. And like this. So, and then let's go ahead and just put the sky in. Let's put the sky in. Let's do the same thing right around the house. So we've got this glow. I've kind of got this glow around the house. And just drag it over. Just take your time to okay. That looks pretty good. So let's do a red door. We'll do a little red door like that. And then let's do a red chimney. And let's do some green shutters. I'm just going to brush a stripe, just a thin brush stroke right next to the windows. Okay, and then I'm going to get my yellow. And we're going to get our little window panes in. And they're just, you know, they're just little lines because they're so tiny. So it's just little yellow lines. So now we want to get our blue, the bank, onto the roof. So we're going to build up that snow onto the roof. And then let's get our shadow in the door. This is what sets the door back inside. So this is our really important shadow to do. Otherwise, the door is just right on the outside of the house. And this kind of sets it back and gives it a little landing. It's such a tiny thing, but you know, it's the tiny things that really make the difference. When you combine them all in your painting, it's what just takes it to that next level. The same here. When you put this little dark line here, you're setting that back inside these little windows, back inside. And because we're seeing this direction, we're going to see that inside of that door casing, where that door. Now it really looks like it's set back, doesn't it? And I think we could probably just put some little detail on that red door. And some little bricks onto that chimney. So cute. And I think we could just also put a little bank onto the side of that house. And really darken this and really darken this. Okay, so now let's go on to our little wagon. Okay, let's see. I need to plug in, or I won't be able to see your comments, you guys. Plug in my iPad. Okay. Okay, there we go. Hi, Tracy. You are not late. We'll take you anytime we can get you. Pat says, you think of details that would never occur to me. You know what? It's the details, Pat. It honestly is. It's the little tiny things. And that's why, you know, if you're struggling with something, it's probably something really small, a really small, quick fix. Honestly, because even if you feel like, okay, I don't really have an artistic eye. I have the other side of the brain that's prominent. Your eye will still tell you if something's off. And, you know, you'll look at it and think, I don't like that. And you don't even know exactly why you don't like it, but your eye doesn't like it because something's wrong. Something's wrong. And, you know, it's, you know, it can see that. Your eye can see that. So it's always the little things. Never fails. So we just, you know, we focus on those little things. There aren't tons of them, but we focus on those little things. And then we put out art that is just amazing. Amazing. Okay, so now we're on to the little basket or the little wagon. And so we're pulling this color out of the lines, you know, under here, you know, all of this little hardware, that would all be pretty dark. The bell, inside of the bell, you know, this is a dome, so it's going to have that shadow. Yeah, and speaking of little things, that's a perfect example of a little thing is, you know, showing that shadow to make it look like it's rounded. The same with this little ornament. You know, because it's rounded, it's going to have that highlight in the center. I should be using my little brush. Switching over. You know, it's going to have this highlight in the center because it's rounded. And, you know, always remember to do each section at a time. That also is so important. So important. Back here, you know, this wheel in the back, that's gonna be in the shadows. And this overhang, you know, we're gonna see a shadow under this overhang. And the candy cane. There's gonna be a shadow on here, on the bottom. It's pretty narrow, so it's, you know, it's a little hard to show a shadow on both sides, and it is it's leaning over, so it's going to be darker on the bottom. So that's really where we want to focus on that. If it's narrow like this, and you try to get, you know, two dark sides, you know, with a highlight in the center, it's a little hard to get that, and not get it too dark, too much color on it. Okay, you can see that three-dimensional look already, just by the way we pull the color out of the lines. I mean, it just is magic. It just is. Okay, so now let's add some color to it. We're gonna get some red on here, some green. Let's just start with this green here. And use your little brush on this. This is one of those things that you really, really need a little brush. And I left just a tiny little bit of a highlight on that bell. Same with this side. I'm just leaving a tiny highlight on the top. And then let's go on and do the little present. What color for windows? The yellow. And then, are you talking about the shutters, Ruth Ann? The shutters are the green. And I'm just using one green. This is the green I'm using throughout. So everything green is this color. And saying, Kathleen, so the path is stamped in the blue only? Yes. How about the house, since it's going to be white? Or is the house stamped in the two colors? Kathleen, 2 colors on the house. The only thing that is stamped just in the blue is the path. Everything else is stamped in the 2 colors. And then be sure to stamp it off at least twice, because these are rubber. So they really hang on to the color. So even 3 times. You could even stamp it off 3 times. No, the window light. Oh, it is 993. This yellow. This is also the yellow that I'm using throughout. So I have a really simple palette. I should just show you. There's just a few colors, and that's what we're using the entire time. So the only green is the 249. And then, of course, the 2 colors that we use. So the dark brown and the blue, 565 and the 969. So these 2. And then the red. The red is the 856, that deep red. And then the brown, the light brown, the 947. And then the yellow, the 993. And that's really it. Other than the black, a little bit of black. But really, those are the colors. Okay, so now let's do the light. So we're going to get the top of this package is going to be just a little bit lighter than the side. And just stay in each section. Just stay in each section. That is so, so important. Don't erase those lines. Don't let those lines disappear. Now let's get some red on here. And I'm just doing this little stripe, because you know, I love stripes. And let's do a little red bow. And let's see, we've got red on this bow. Each section at a time. And then you can always go back over it again if you feel like it needs to be a little darker. You can always go back over it and just kind of make another pass. Okay, so now, anybody else have any? Such a lovely journal. I am just having so much fun, you guys. It's my favorite journal. It absolutely is my favorite. So now we're going to make the little stripes on the candy cane and just eyeball them, because they're not, it's not important if they're exactly even. You're going to get the concept that it's a candy cane. And the biggest thing to remember when you're putting these stripes in is to, give them a little bit of a bend. So, just kind of try to think about how the rounded, it's all rounded. And so just make that little rounded edge on here when you're putting these on. Okay. Okay, so now I'm going to switch over to, I'm going to put some more red on my palette. And this is 856. So we're going to make this wagon red. We're just going to brush this on each section at a time. And this little ornament's got a little hook here. If you happen to erase that, it's okay. We can put it back in at the end. So the little hook of the ornament's kind of hanging over. So if your brush, you hit that with your brush and kind of erase it, we can just put it back in later. And then we want to leave a highlight on this lip that's kind of hanging over. You want to just leave a highlight right on the edge of that. And then really, a dark line underneath. Under that wagon. And I painted the little wheels red. I thought that was so cute. But you could paint them a different color, or you could just leave them white too. I just really like the green and the red, and I didn't have a lot of other colors other than the blue sky. Just because I also wanted to keep it really simple. Okay, so now I'm going to take my twin tone and I'm going to really darken this area underneath. And you can see what that does. It looks like this is hanging over and there's a shadow cast right here. And basically what that does is just push that handle behind and under the wagon. Just that one little thing. And then I'm just darkening these little wheels. The same here. If you put that dark shadow right there, it lifts that wagon off of the hardware, because it's creating this shadow under here. So I'm going to put that hook back in. And I'm going to make sure this is really dark inside this bell. Really dark in there. And then I'm just going to add a little gray to the wheels. So the top, leave that highlight at the very top. Don't color that all the way to the top. Okay. How cute this is. And we can still do a little detail on the ribbon to kind of, you know, set it apart a little bit. And just add that little detail. And then I'm just going to kind of come under here with my bullet tip, and I want to really make sure that that overhang is dark. And this little section inside of the handle, that's darker too. Okay, so we're doing good. All right, let's get our trees in the back. How are you guys doing? Are you keeping up with me okay? What's the difference between the twin tone and the other Tombow markers? I wish they would make the twin tones exactly like the other markers. But they don't. The brown is a little bit different than this brown. These are not the same colors. This is a little redder. I wish it was the same as this. The same with the blue. The dark blue twin tone is not the exact color of this. The only reason that I use them is for the fine tip. And this is the closest thing to what we're using. And so that's why I use this brown a lot, and the dark blue. This one and the dark blue. But I wish they would make them the colors would be the same. Yep, finer tip. That's the only difference. Melissa, did I miss a special event? Hi, Melissa. Yeah, we're doing the Nativity Journal. It's a marathon live. And we've already done 4 of the pages inside. We're on the 5th page. And so we're getting to the end, but this is all going to be recorded and on Facebook. So you can stay on with us and watch the rest and follow along, or you can go back and, you know, watch it from the beginning later on too. So glad you're with us. She's got to go having a party. Oh, fun. I'm glad we got to have you for a while, Thanks for being on. Thanks for being on. All right, so let's keep going here. Let's do our trees. You guys are pros at the trees right now. I know it. So let's get these in. We're going to do these in the background. So 1, and then another one. And then let's do another one right here. And then we can just do a small one right here. And a big one. And we'll kind of turn it a little bit so that we can get it a little taller, and then maybe we'll just go up a little taller still and get this in here. Okay, and then let's do a little foliage around that house. So just a little bit of this. And then we'll add some snow to the top. Okay, before we do that, let's put a little shadow in. So we're going to do a little shadow underneath here, underneath this wagon. And then, you know, this area here, this will just be this little handle we're going to see that shadow on here. So now let's get our trees in. And just add our water into here. When you're just doing these fir trees, it's a little easier just to do the sky first and stamp these over the top. You can do it both ways. But if you're doing a tree that has branches, you know, that's not a fir tree, you can do it both ways too, really. I mean, I'm not sure which way would be easier. Probably putting the sky in first would probably still be easier. Although getting the color, you know, you want to get that color you know, in there, because that's what's really going to show off that white paint. So now we've got this big tree. And even though we're stamping it over the color, it's okay because we're gonna have white all over it. Okay, and let's put in our the blue here, the bank. And we're going to see it just as it comes around. And actually probably just see it a little bit there. And, you know, we can just kind of finish that around here too. Kind of show it like this. Okay, and this little bit right here, we're just going to cover that up with a white paint. Okay, let's get our white paint. We're going to go through the rest of this jar. I just feel it. So now, look how far down this is. You can tell I absolutely love this paint. I love this paint. And now I can't wait for summer and all the spring stuff, because now the little white flowers are coming back and now we can use it for florals. So it never gets put away. Okay, here we go. Let's get our little trees in. And onto this one. Did any of you, we were talking about our childhood memories, you know, of Christmas. Did any of you go caroling when you were little? That was such a big thing, you know, in the church that I grew up in. We went caroling every Christmas. And I was thinking of that too, you know, all these different memories, things that we just don't do anymore. And, you know, when Phil and I were first married, his family used to go caroling. And so we would go to, you know, people that we knew or people that were kind of shut in and couldn't get to church. We would go carol. Sometimes we went to nursing homes, and I just don't know if anybody does that anymore. It's just, you know, the season is just so busy, and, you know, there's just not time for things like that. We would all just pile in the cars and just drive over and just pile out and sing songs and then just go on to the next place. It was so much fun. But I remember doing that a lot when I was little. We used to go, you know, we all went caroling. And I don't remember if it was on Christmas Eve. I don't think it was on Christmas Eve, but it was probably before. Like maybe the week before or something like that. Cynthia, my 4 sisters and a couple of my cousins went still? Do they now even still? Or was this back when you were little? Okay, let's see if we got everything here. I wanted to switch over to my little brush. Diane said, years ago I took my Girl Scout troop to a nursing retirement home for caroling. The residents loved it, and so did the girls. Oh yes, a very special day. Oh, that means so much to people. Cynthia, when we were younger. My church goes to all the shut-ins and local nursing homes. Oh, that's so neat, with gifts to be given to the people. We do this every Christmas. Still, Barb, you still do that. That is so neat. That is so neat. I love that. Okay, I'm going to just add a little white stripe in between. Like so. And then just a little bit on here. And just on the edge of that little wagon. And let's put our snow in. Linda, our youth group would go do a hayride. Oh, caroling ride the weekend before Christmas, then back to the church for hot chocolate. Such great memories. Oh, yes. Yeah, I was always part of the youth group too, and we used to do stuff like that. And I've always lived in the country, so no one came around, but sang in school gatherings and church too. Karen, I just moved to Salem last December from Minnesota. We went to the vet's home and sang for them. Nice memories. Oh, wow. You did that last year, Karen? Oh, I bet people just love that. I didn't know that people were even still doing it anymore. It's just, you know, it's too busy. We're just too busy. And I think too, you know, when our lives are so busy, we forget that other people aren't busy and they're lonely. And so to have somebody come and sing like that and just, you know, bring them a little gift or just, you know, just stand outside and just sing some carols. That would just be so neat. I'm putting a little snow on the wheels here too. And I'm going to kind of bury this little handle in the snow. Okay, so let's do our little and you could go through, you know, on all of these and you could put a little star like that on all of your pages. You could totally do that. It would be really cute on this one too. Okay. You guys are going to be getting really good at snowflakes, trees, sky, and coloring. Definitely coloring. Look how cute that's turning out. That is just turned out so cute. Okay, so now let's just get a little shadow now under our trees, under our white paint. And we'll just go in and do this. Okay. You don't have to get them all. You can see that I'm not getting them all, but it really does make a difference. And it's pretty light. And then, you know, what happens is you're pulling out some of that green in there too, and it's kind of mixing, and that's totally fine. It's doing the same thing. It's getting that darker color underneath. And it lifts that snow up. Okay, I think we are getting finished with this. And I'm just going to add a little shadow now to this tree. And these over here. And actually this little tree as well. Okay, we are finished. And I'm just going to actually take this little line out of here and just kind of make it more of a shadow. Okay. Another one down, you guys. How are you doing? Are you staying up with me, or do I need to slow down a bit? Would be cool to use some gold to go with the Wiseman theme. Oh, that's a great idea. You know what? Let's do that. That's a great idea. We could do that on some of these little things like this, the little ornament. That would be so cute. Where else could we? How about a gold stripe? On the little bells. That is a great idea. I love that. Can you guys see that? You see that gold on there? That is so cute. Great idea, Karen. Okay, so I'm going to sign. And I hope you guys are signing yours too. Sign mine. And see if there's anywhere else that needs to be touched up. Don't think so. I think we're all good here. Turned out so cute. Love that idea of the gold. Love that. Okay, so now we are down to, this is our last scenic foundation, and then we just have the little lamppost and the cover. And the cover really, you know, I'm going to make that a little wreath to go on it, but the cover really, you can do whatever you want with that. You could put a little church, that same church. You could just stamp that little church on here. You could just have a sentiment on there too. Or maybe the little sheep, or just, you know, whatever you want to put on here. You can do. All right, so let's do this one, and then we will be on to these two, and then we'll be on to the assembly, you guys. And it's only 1:15. Okay. We're getting through it. We're totally getting through it. Okay, so I will remember to mask off my project at this time, so I won't make a mess. Okay. Tracy, do you use cardstock or watercolor paper for journals? Yes, watercolor paper for the projects, for sure. So none of this that we're doing will work on cardstock. So if you try to stamp on cardstock and then you take your brush and you pull the color out of the lines, none of that works. It has to be watercolor paper. And my paper of choice is Canson. Canson 140 pound cold press. That is what I use for everything. And then as far as the rest of the journal, you know, the pages, the cover, that's all cardstock. So you can cut that out of, you know, whatever. But when you're doing the actual watercolor project, that has to be on watercolor paper. For sure. Okay, let's see. Melissa, it's 4:15 here in Ohio. Oh, wow. You know what, Melissa? It could be dark by the time we're done. Oh, man. Okay. Yes, we're going on to the baby in the manger, and I had to do, even though I didn't have the actual Mary and Joseph, I had to do the baby in the manger, but I couldn't put the baby out in the middle of the snow. And I didn't really know how to where to put him. You know, I couldn't really put him in a house. So I put him in a shelter, under a shelter. And so we're going to make these little branches that come down, and we're going to just, you know, he's outside, he's in the snow, but he's still covered under shelter. And the birds are singing because they're so happy. So, which is why I did birds on here. So, and yes, we want to leave this area in the center light. For sure, we want to leave this light. And actually, you know, we can bring that sky down a little bit. So if you take, or not the sky, yeah, the sky. So if you take this, you know, our horizon line and just kind of, you know, bring it down like this, we can kind of make the sky just kind of under here. Because we really kind of want to put this sky in first, since we're doing this little overhang with these little fir boughs. And then we can just put in maybe, you know, another little kind of horizon line like this. And then, you know, kind of in the center where we have the little manger. You know, it kind of looks a little bit like this. And then, you know, up here, this is in the corners, is where it's going to be the darkest. Up here in the corners, and then in the center, that's where we're going to kind of focus that, that light. And just, you know, kind of keep dragging it to the center. And, you know, to make it lighter and lighter, just keep your brush, just keep adding water to your brush or pinching it off so that it's drier and there's no color on it. And then just keep dragging that to the center. And you can add a little more color to the corners if you want to, and make those just a little bit darker. Okay. And we really don't have any trees in the background. We really mostly just have these overhangs. So let's just do the baby in the manger. Let's just get him colored, and then we'll do the rest. So I'm going to switch over to my little brush, and I'm just going to add a little color to him. This little blue blanket. And then we're just building up this little pillow. And then adding in some color now to this little manger. And just brush it on. You know, leave a few little light spots because that gives, you know, more texture to the wood. And then let's get him his little face. And again, we want to leave the areas where his eyes are a little bit lighter, even though his skin is a little darker. We still want to leave that area where his eyes are. And then let's get his little cheeks. And of course, we got to get his little eyes back in because we've lost his little eyes. And we'll get a little bit of his hair back in too. And we can make this manger just look a little rustic too by just kind of, you know, breaking up this these little boards and just putting a little hole in here. Same with these. And this little part here too. And let's put a little shadow under here. And you know, this side, actually, this side of the little manger is going to be just a little darker, kind of in the shadow. Okay, he's so cute. Okay, so now let's go on to our little birds. And I'm just gonna pull this color out of the line. We're gonna just leave these, color these brown with a red chest, so like little robins. So I'm gonna switch over to my little brush. And then I'm going to add some of this brown. Keep their faces, you know, pretty light as always. And just layer this on. You can always go back on and add a little bit more color, but just start out with it pretty light. And I'm just going to put a little pink in their cheeks. And I'm going to use my twin tone. Get their little feet on here. Okay, got our little birds. And now let's do our fir boughs. So we're going to use these from the fir tree set. And let me see if I have that to show you. Fir tree set is... Where is that? Here, this one. So it is from this set, and I'm just using the this right, and the left. So these two stamps. And we're just going to kind of hang those fir boughs down. So we'll start on this side, and I'm going to just kind of turn this and then ink this up. So I'm going to use this dark green. And I'm going to just kind of hang this over like this. Same down here. And then the same with this one, just on the other side. So this little guy, we've got him kind of coming over this way. And then we can just, you know, show one kind of off to the side. And then, you know, another one, you know, up here. And just give that impression that the tree is just, it's really tall. And let's just do that with this side too. So now we're going to just add some water to it. And we kind of want to keep the texture of these, you know, little fir boughs because they're kind of up close. So we would be able to see that, the texture. You know, when they're way back in the distance, it doesn't matter because, you know, we just color them in because we wouldn't see that detail anyway. But these are much closer up. And just kind of dab. It's always just dabbing. It's rarely is it any kind of a brush stroke. I think the only time really you're going to use a brush stroke is probably when you're doing some kind of grass. That would be the only time. All right, so now we've got our fir boughs in. And I just want to make sure that I get the red on here dark enough. These little guys with their red chests. And they're just singing. They're so happy. Okay, so now we are ready to add our white paint already. Let's do it. And I'm going to use my bigger brush. Dip it in water. And we're going to just lay this snow on top. So, you know, if the snow were falling and it's just going to kind of lay on here. Just think about it as, you know, just a clump of snow just laying on top. And one more up here. Just gonna lay that snow right on the top. And let's get our small brush so we can get our little snowflakes in. How are you guys doing? Are you trying to keep Tony? Tony, I guarantee you're doing great. Kendra's on. Kendra, there are just a whole bunch of diehards on with me today. We've been going since 9. Although we did take about a 25-minute break. But these guys have been with me since the beginning. Okay. How cute is this, you guys? And again, you know, any of these would be so cute on a card too, just a Christmas card. You know, even if you're not, you know, really into journaling, or maybe you make the journal and you just want to make another one of these projects for a card. Kathleen, what a fun day. It has been. It really has. Velda! Velda is with us. Oh, Kendra's on. Yay. All right. We're going to let this dry just for a second because we want to add that blue to the bottoms of these for sure. These are really close up, and so we want to kind of lift them off of the branches. So we want to make sure we get that blue shadow in. And I'm, you know, on some of these areas that are kind of showing through a little bit, I'm putting a little more paint on. So it's going to take a little bit longer to dry. But you know what, you guys, we have all day, right? We literally have all day. Edna, you must be exhausted with the whole painting and talking us through each thing, and we appreciate it. But I'm tired, and all I did was watch and take notes. It is not tiring at all. It's really fun. I've never painted so fast in my life. Oh my gosh. I know this is a marathon just in all ways, just in every way it is. But you can go back, you guys, and watch. You can go back and watch and catch up. Okay, and we're still letting this dry just for a little bit. So I'm just going to pull the tape off. And we may have to come back to it and just add the blue in after this dries for good. And that is that. How cute. And then trying to keep up with me when I'm constantly going back and doing some random thing. You know, I say do something and then I'll go back and do some random thing that nobody has any idea what it is. Just at the last minute, just some last minute thing. Kind of like I'm doing right now. Okay, I think that's so cute. Pat, part 1 is on there. So we had to take a little break. We took a 25-minute break and refreshed our water. I had to heat up my coffee. You know, so we had to go take a little break and then came back. So number 1 is a separate recording, and then 2, this one is number 2, and then we'll finish with number 2. We don't have that much left to do. So we're gonna be able to finish up here. So okay, so I'm going to just set this aside, and then as soon as it's dry, we'll go back and put that blue in. And in the meantime, let's go on to this one. And this one is going to be an oval. So let me see where that oval is. It's going to go on that little booklet, and it's not this one. So it's going to go right on here. This is what we're going to do next. And I need to find that the little oval that's going to cut this out. So let me find that. Don't go away, you guys. Let's see where that is. Nope, too big. Too big. See, and I'll tell you what size, as soon as I find it, I'll tell you what size that is, so that you can cut it. Too small. Okay. This one, that's it. So this is the size right here that's going to cut this oval out, and I'll tell you what the measurement is as soon as I find a ruler. Here's a ruler. So this is 2 1/4. 2 1/4 inches long by about 1 and just over 1.5, maybe 1, 2, 3, 4, 5/8. 1 5/8. So anything similar to that, and honestly, it doesn't even have to be an oval. It could just be a square. It's just going on our little book. We're going to make this little book because there's nowhere really to write a note or a special message to anyone. So we're just going to make this this little book so that you can write a special message in your journal. So it just has to go on here. So this is what I used, and you know, but you don't necessarily have to make it a circle, an oval. So I'm gonna just make a circle around, or make a line here, because this is where this is where we're gonna cut it. This is where it's gonna cut out. So that's how much space we have to fill in. Okay, is this the same oval for the cover? It's the same nested ovals. So the cover is actually is much bigger, but it's the same nested dies. So this is just the small one. And then this one is actually the "Oh Come Let Us Adore Him" is about 1 inch and 7/8, about 1 inch and 7/8 by about 1 inch wide. So this one's pretty small, but you can also just cut whatever, you know, fits into your wreath. That's just what I used. And is this dry? Okay, this is dry. Let's go ahead and do this right now, just so that we have this finished. And I'm gonna get, use my little brush. And we're just gonna go under. See how that just lifts that right up? This is just one of those things that, you know, really, really makes a difference. So cute. Okay, that is it. And I didn't sign this one, so let me sign it. Sign that one, and we'll put this over to the side. And then let's get on to this project. And you know what? We're getting to the end here, you guys. Can you believe it? It's only 1:45. Jeanette, thankfully there's always the replay. Yes, there's always the replay. I love lanterns and lampposts. Me too. Can you tell by how many I've done? I feel like I have a new lamppost every year, at least 1 or 2. And she says, I buy every stamp I see with lanterns and lampposts because they're so great for any occasion. And they're honestly so easy to do. I think that's part of it too. And I just love them. I love them for any holiday, really, literally any occasion. So now this is a very narrow post. So I'm using my tiny little brush, and I'm just going to pull the color out. We don't have to do a lot. With this, I inked this in the 2 colors, and I'm going to do this top red. I feel like the lamppost just needs to be red. And you know, here's a separate section. Leave that tiny little line. And you see what that tiny line does? It divides the 2. And if you made this all a continuous, and see how this one goes back and this one goes back? If that were all continuous, it would be one flat straight line. So, but leaving that little tiny, it's such a tiny little thing, but it shows you that there is a bend in this. It really, really makes a difference. It's a tiny, tiny little thing, but it will make a difference every time. Just that tiny little space breaks up that line. See what I mean? And this up here on the top, we're going to add some snow to it. So I'm just going to color it in right here. Okay. And let's add a little yellow. And, you know, to add a light on the inside of the light needs to be white. So the color is on the outside. And the white light, you know, the very inside of the lamp is going to be, to have no color. Okay, so now I'm going to add some blue in the background, and to add a little more blue to my palette. And we're going to just put a little blue in the background here. Just don't let it touch that red, because that red will just bleed right out. Okay, so now we're going to put in our ivy and little berries, and then once that's done, then we'll kind of put in the stripes kind of where they go, where we can still see them. Otherwise, we're kind of fighting those stripes when we're putting in all of these other colors and stamping over that darker color. So let me grab those, and I'm using these from the Ivy set. So from the new release, the Ivy set, which is just an absolute great set. So this one right here, I'm using these dark ones. And, you know, however you want it to grow up, and actually, I wonder if the other way is better. I feel like this one might be better. We'll just grow it up just like this. And we'll just put it in like this. And actually, we don't really need that many more. We could just put, you know, these in here, kind of like that. And that's probably good. And that was the one going to, the one going off to the right. So it would be going to the left when you actually stamp it. But it's this one when you're looking at it that goes off to the right. And I inked the whole thing. And just stamped it right over the post. And then I took this little section and just stamped it right there. And really, we just have to add a little bit of color to the leaves. Like so. And now we can put in the red stripe. And I'm just, you know what? I'm just putting these stripes in. So if they're not perfect, we don't care. No one cares if they're just perfect or not. And put a little red line in there. Okay. And let's put in some little red berries. Okay, I think that's really cute. And I don't think, you know, we can add another, some white to the stripes too. And, you know, when you're putting these stripes on, if it's easier for you, you can pencil them in first. So, you know, take a pencil and just mark it if you want to make sure that you get it pretty even. Let's do the little brush here. So I'm just going to make a little white line in there. And let's get some snow. And I'm just going to put a little snow on these leaves. And a little bit of snow on the top of the lamp. And just a little bit in here where the lamp is, where the light is. Okay, let's see if I've got all the white on here. Okay. That was a quick one. So now we're going to let that dry so we can add our blue shadow in. It turned out so cute. So cute. Be sure to sign. So I will do that too. And actually, you know what? It'd be really cute to use your silver pen and, you know, do these details with your silver pen. Isn't that cute? And actually, we could do this right along the edge. I don't know if you guys can see that, but it's so cute. Melissa, I need to take a loan out to keep up with the new releases. Oh. Oh gosh. Okay, so I'm going to now add the shadow under here. And under here. And here. And there. That turned out so cute. And I'm just going to put a little shadow inside here. With that silver. I love that. I hope you guys can see that. Okay, so now what do we, let's see, what were we waiting to do? I think we got this done. We got that done. Okay, you know what? Are we done with all these? So we've got, and I went ahead, when we took that break, I went ahead and cut my, these 3 out. Did I not sign this? Did not sign that. I cut these 3 out. So now we've just got this one, and this one to cut out, and this one. So let's do the wreath. Let's do the wreath, and then I'll cut my pieces out. Have you guys all got yours cut out already? Or did you stamp it on the square page? Let me move this out of the way. Okay, let's do the wreath. Let's do a wreath here. So I have not used the poinsettia, so let's use that. And I also love this little guy. These little guys. These are just so great. So let's use this. And we'll just make a simple wreath here. So in order to do the poinsettias, you want to color the red all around. And then the inside green. So this little section right here, you want to ink that green with the green. And then I'm just going to stamp it kind of right on the line. And then do it again. And just use your red all the way around. And then the center, we're going to do that green. And then, since I've got green in my hand, and then we'll do the red all the way around. And we'll do one there. Okay, so now let's see, what else should we do? Let's do these guys. And we're gonna do these in 2 colors. And this is part of the holly set. So this one right here, the right and the left. So these 2. And let's see, this one goes like this one goes like this. So we're gonna do the circle, the little berries, red, and then the green. And we're just gonna stamp it on like this. And then the green. And the red. And we're going to stamp this one on like this. And the red. And don't get it mixed up because, you know, when you've got a pen in your hand, I don't know how many times I have done that and just got them mixed up. So do the green, the berries green, and the leaves red. And the red. And the green. Like so. And then let's see, we can fill something in on the inside. So let's just see, what should we do? How about, we can add those later. How about this guy? This guy, so cute. So we'll just add this one. And this one. And this one. And then maybe we add these. So let's just add this one. And a few there. And a few there. Okay. And actually, I'll just add a few there too and just fill in the gaps. All right, so now we're going to add water. And, you know, twist your paper around because that's the easiest way to do it. Is just twist your paper around and so that you can get a good impression. And I'm just going to start out by coloring in all of these little things here. And there's so many, you know, different wreath combinations. You know, really you can just try something new. You know, they all look different. So it's really fun to experiment and try different combinations of things. And then the little red, these little red berries. This stamp alone makes a really cute wreath. Just this, the little berries and the holly leaves. And we'll come back and add more color to these things because you can see they're not quite dark enough. And then the green. And I'm just using my tiny little brush. And with the little holly leaves, I just am just kind of using the lines inside to pull color. And so I'm not being careful at all. And now these leaves. And this one. And just kind of make your way around. You can always fill in too. You know, if it's, mine rarely turn out exactly even, rarely. You know, you can measure, kind of divide up your wreath into 4s and then just do each quadrant. You could do that and then they will, they'll end up perfectly spaced, but I just usually always just start stamping it. I'm just not that organized to, to do that. There's a lot of color in these leaves from the lines, so they always turn out really well. And you can see I always just leave a little bit of white. Just try not to ever color everything in solid. It never looks as good. Okay, so now let's do the little poinsettias. And we're going to do these, each one in each section. And we're just dragging that color out of the lines. And again, we don't want to color them in solid. And these little lines that are here, those are for color. And the tips, if you leave the tips light, so the edge of the tip, what it does is it makes you, it looks like the flower petals are coming forward. It brings them forward because that's where the light's catching. So if you leave these tips uncolored, they're going to look better. They're going to look like the petals are kind of coming forward off of the flower. And that's also what happens if the inside is darker. It draws the flower in. Same with this one. Just do each petal at a time, and then try to leave that tip lighter. And then the inside, you know, where the petals all kind of connect, that would be dark. That would be darker. And then just, you know, kind of bounce your brush over the top of the little green on the inside. So let's do this one. Just make your way around. And, you know, with these kinds of things, it's a really good idea to just, you know, stamp it a bunch of times on some watercolor paper. Just stamp it a bunch of times rather than trying to put it into, you know, a composition right away, because you'll kind of get comfortable with it and you'll just see how to, you know, pull the color out and how to ink it. And you're just, it's a lot more, it's a lot more comforting to do it that way. Okay, now you can come back in if you want to and add some more color. See how that tip of the flower, it just kind of lifts it up. It just kind of lifts it up. Okay, now I'm going to just take the bullet tip and I'm just going to make some little green dots in here. And then I'm just going to go back over these little green branches. Like so. And then it should be dry here. I mean, it should dry pretty quick. Let's take the pencil line out so we can kind of see what we have here, where we need to add something and just kind of fill in. And we can just erase this off. As long as it's dry, it's not going to smear anything. Okay, now I'm going to go ahead and cut this out so that I can see where the line is and see what I still need to add in here. So I'm going to just get my circle. And where is that? Where is that oval? Let's see. Okay. It's not this one. Oh, here it is. So here's the oval, and you can see I'm gonna be losing a lot of my greenery here. So I'm gonna just I wonder if I can just go a little bit. No, that's the wrong size. Here, let me just find the right size here. Hang on. Hang on, you guys, and then I'll tell you what the size is. I'll tell you what the size is for that. Where did I put those? Here they are. You should see my desk right now. It is. You're welcome, Jamie. Dana She's got to get going. Thanks for being with me. This was so much fun. This is my new favorite stamp set. Thanks, Kathy. What size the medium one? Okay, let me tell you what size that actually is to cut out. So here's my dies right here. And I have all the nested dies in here. So these are all different sizes. And then we also have the double stitch dies. So let me find that die size that is. Too big. Too big. Not those. Not that. Was it this one? Nope. And not this one. Nope. Well, maybe we cut it out of a double stitch die, and that's what it's going to be. Just like this. Okay, I think that's going to work fine. And that is what it is. And I'll tell you what the size is of that one. So this is, because see, that's just a little too small. That is not the size. That's not the size I cut it out on my journal. So this is just a little small. So this one is going to work great. And it is, let me tell you the size. It is about 3 inches by 3 3/4, about 3 by 3, and yeah, about 3 3/4 is about the size of this. So let me just cut this out really quick. I've got my die cutting machine right here. So let me just do this, and then we can see what we still need to add. And this is usually the way that I do it anyway, because I always like to add a little something more once I have it all cut out, and I can kind of see where the center is. So here's where my sentiment is going to go. Like, trying to connect. Did I still have you guys? Oh, what poinsettia? It's from the poinsettia set. So it is, I'll show you. It is from this set. This one right here, and I use this one. So the middle size. That's a lot of dies in one place. I know, they're all the ovals. They're all the oval dies. And I try to organize stuff, but that's the best idea for me, to put them in those photo boxes like that. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take some blue like this, and I'm just going to add a little bit of this in here, just as a little background. And it's okay if it, gets mixed in a little bit with the red or the green. That's totally fine. And I'll just kind of make my way around just a little. You're just kind of dabbing a little bit of color in between. And it really just kind of brings it all together. And you don't have to be so careful about, getting everything even and perfect when you do something like this to it. And I can see, how much I have all around the edges, and I can see how much space I still have in the middle. If I want to drag some of this color out, to the center. Okay, like so. And then I think I'm going to take that ivy or that holly set, and I'm just going to add a little bit of the tip in here. So I'm just going to color the tip just like this, and just add in a few little pieces, just kind of here and there. Just kind of random. And then I'll take my little brush and I'll just add a little water to it. Okay, now let's add a little red to the berries. And then maybe just a few little red dots. And in here where some of these, you know, might have got a little washed out, we could add a few more. So it's just, you know, it's just kind of, you know, when you get it this far, you just kind of look at it and just see what else you want to just put in there. And then we got to put a little white paint in because that just adds so much. It adds so much to do that. So I'm just going to dip my brush in here. And I'm just going to hit some of these little areas and just kind of pop this up. Add a little highlight to the berries. Put some on these. And you can put as much in as you want of this. You know me, I just get carried away with it, and then I just put so much in. I just have white dots all over everything. But look how cute it is. It's just so cute. And it kind of looks like snow, but then it looks like highlights, and it just kind of brightens everything up. Isn't that cute? And so easy. It's pretty hard to mess the wreaths up. It really is. Even if they're off and they're not even, it really, because mine was certainly not even when I stamped it. And I had different things spaced out in different areas, and, you know, but it still comes together. Okay, you guys, I am going to clear off my absolute disaster area, and we're going to put this journal together because we are finished with the art. Can you believe it? Who's still on with me, you guys? I still have 70 people on here. I cannot believe it. You guys, some of you have been here since the beginning. Oh, my word. Kendra dots would work great. Yes, Vicki, that's what Kendra would say too. She would say, we'll just get the Kendra dots out because that will do it. And they would. They'd be so cute. Okay, so let me get all of this. If you saw my desk, you guys, it's an absolute wreck. But I'm just going to move everything out of the way and get my journal in here. Move my palette. Move the water. I ended up, of course, white paint in both waters again. So, but thankfully we're done with it, so it doesn't matter. Okay, get all my stamps out of here and get my projects. All right, so this one I need to cut out. I still need to cut this out. I need to cut these out. Okay. And I have all of my pages. Do you have all your pages cut out and everything for your journal? Or are you going to just, you can just follow me and you can do it later too. So, but I know some of you have already prepped your journals and you're just ready to go. So I'm just cutting out this little oval lamppost real quick. I've got my big shot right here. Okay, so I've got this cut out, and then I've just got 3 of these that I need to cut. So let me do that. Does anybody else need to cut theirs? And I'm just measuring it like this on here and just cutting it out. And they'll just fit perfect. Okay. I always come back to my big shot. I don't know about you guys, but I have a genie, but I like this one so much better. I don't know, it seems like it's faster when you're doing little things. And plus I've just had it forever. Okay, there's this one. So let me do this one more. Line that up. Line this up. And cut it out. And don't forget to erase your pencil lines too. If you have pencil lines from where you marked your square, be sure to erase those. Okay, one more. One more. This little one here. Oops. One more piece of tape. How inky are your hands right now? Because mine are just, mine are just covered. Just covered, but you know what? That means we've been so productive. We've gotten so much done today. I cannot believe it, you guys. Okay, you guys, we are ready. So let's go ahead and get the cover. And for those of you who have never put a journal together, you're going to cut 2 of the cover. So the original die set, so the original journal template die set comes with this die that cuts out the cover. This is the cover, the case of the journal, and you're going to cut 2 of these. What size is that rectangle? This is, let me tell you, because I should know, because I've looked at it so many times. This is 2 1/4 by 3 3/8. 2 1/4. This is in the nested die sets, the nested rectangles. If you have this set, you have this die in there. So it's the one that is 2 1/4 by 3 3/8. This one. And that's what these are made to fit inside. Now, if you went a little bit bigger, it's okay. They're still going to fit just fine in your journal. They're going to fit just fine. But that's how I set them up to fit in this die, to fit with this die in this size to go in the journal, so that they're all the same. Now, once you have this done, you can see the score lines here. And actually, I'm going to just bring this up a little bit. And maybe, I don't think I'm there. There we go. it comes with these score lines. You're going to fold along the score lines. Like so. And you see the rounded edges. The rounded edges are the front of your journal. So it's going to go like this. It's going to form this box. And so we're going to glue the two straight edge corners. We're going to glue those together. They're going to just overlap, and we're going to glue them together. So let's just do that. We're going to just lay it on here like that and glue it. Now, if I could just find the glue. Here it is. Okay. So, and what is that? I had to finally buy a new glue bottle because the top of mine was so worn out. I couldn't even, and then I lost the pin. So I had to buy a new bottle just because I lost the pin too. And you know, it's stainless steel, so any other pin is going to rust in it. So you have to have that pin. And I lost it. Okay, so this is going to go right together like this. And we're just going to just glue it right together. And when you're gluing, when you're putting your journal together, I would really recommend that you use glue and not tape. Don't use adhesive tape because it doesn't seem to hold as well. And you're going to be in and out of this so many times. If you show this completed journal to someone or give it, they're going to flip through it 100 times and just look at it over and over again. It's going to mean so much to them. So make sure that you've got, you know, really good glue that's going to keep your pages in and not fall out. So, okay, so let's do the first page. And we're going to, this is the cover. So let's do the first, where is the first page? Okay, this one. This is the first page that goes on the inside. And they're all just kind of set up the same. So we're going to just glue this in. So this one goes in first. And these, you know, all the dies are listed on the supply sheet that I used. And this one is from, let me just get these out because I want to show you guys what I'm using here. So these dies are from this set right here. And it has these large dies that work for your cover and for your inside pages. And they layer. So you can get all these different decorative edges that can layer on top of each other. So I cut one of those for the inside page. So I'm just going to glue that in. And this is where the first sentiment is going to go, is on this page. So I'm going to just glue this in. And you want to just kind of glue it right next to that score line. Make sure it's straight and just glue it in like this. And then I'm going to put the accent page on just like this. And you can see how they just kind of layer on top of each other. They're so cute. And this is going to go right on top like this. And by the way, I'm using the mini journal set paper pack for the mini journal because it's got really small designs, and it's really subtle. The colors are just really subtle and just so pretty. And I feel like they just go perfectly. So now all the sentiments are in the same frame, and this frame is from the original template set. So this die set that has the cover and everything else in it is in there. This little frame is in there. And that's what all the sentiments are in. So when you cut these out, when you cut your sentiments out, you're going to use this frame. So you cut it out and then you don't use the frame. You're just using the inside. So this one is, the very first one is the prophecy, which is, where is that? For unto us a child is born, Unto us a son is given, and the government shall be upon his shoulder, and his name shall be called Wonderful, Counselor, the Mighty God, Everlasting Father, the Prince of Peace. And it's going to go in here just perfectly like that. So we're going to glue this down. This is the very first page. And it's going to go right here in the front. And just kind of just center it. And then this will should fit perfectly in here because you use the same die to cut this out. So it cuts the frame, it cuts the middle out. And the middle is what we're using for the sentiments. And you could pop these up too. You've got plenty of room in your journal that you could pop these up with foam dots, these sentiments. So this one goes in here. That's our first page. And then the second page will be these two. So we're going to glue that second page in right now. And I cut my pages out of these decorative pages. So these are from the new release, and I absolutely love these so much. So it comes with 2 of these frames and another accent page design. So it comes with this one, and then this one. This is journal page 1. That has this decorative page, and this is journal page 2. So I used both, and I sort of alternated them. So the first one is going to be this one. And there's a score line here, so you just fold on the score line, just like this, bring it back forward, and that's how it glues into your journal. It's going to glue flush right with that score line, just like this. So let's glue this on, and then we'll glue this page into the journal. So the very first one is the little church that we did. So this one, and I cut out another one that is just a little bit bigger. So and this is watercolor paper. I just cut a contrasting piece that's just a little bit bigger than that one. Let me tell you what the size is. But you can also just glue it onto your accent page. So this is 2.5 by 3 and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5/8. 2.5 by 3 and 5/8. And it's just the next nested rectangle, just the next one. And so I'm just going to glue these together. And we're just going to glue it right in the middle, just center it right in there. And then it's going to go right onto here in the middle, and then on the page. So let's glue this. There we go. And now this glues right onto this page. See how cute that is? That decorative page. I just love it. So I'm going to glue this in now. And just center it on the page. Same distance, from the top to the bottom if you can. There we go. And now we can glue this into our journal. So it's going to go just like this, just right here, right flush against that score line. So we're going to add our glue in here, just like this. Make sure that's right in there, flush against that score line. And then we'll let that dry just for a second, and then we'll do the next page. So now on the next page, what is the next one? So the next one is the little angel. So that is Where is she? She is right here. So this is the next one. And we're going to glue her. We've got our cutout pages. See, they're really simple. It's the 2 accent pages, the frame for the sentiment, and then the watercolor paper that backs it up. That it backs up onto. So this. So that's really, that's the layout of the whole page, journal page. So let's glue this on now. And we'll just glue this in here like this. A little bit crooked, but that's okay. And I still need to erase my pencil lines. I still got pencil lines on here, but that's okay. And now I can glue this onto here. And it really doesn't matter what paper you pick. They're all gonna be really cute. So I just literally just went through it and just picked different patterns and just picked a different pattern for the frame. And I really didn't worry too much about it. So there's this page, and then this one, here's their frame. See, this side would have been really cute too. And then this is going to go right into the center. And then her little sentiment. And this is the verse that goes with this one. Behold, the virgin shall conceive and bear a son, and they shall call his name Emmanuel, God with us. Matthew 1:23. And that is going on this page. Right here. So now this should be plenty dry here. So now we can fold this over and do the next page. And I alternated them. So now I've got this one. I think they're so cute next to each other. So let's do this one. How are you guys doing? Anybody, are you all keeping up? AI has 2 sizes, the standard and now a mini size. Oh yes, we have 2. So we have the regular sized journal and now the little one. What about the painting for the bookmark? Oh, Diane, I forgot all about that. But yes, we'll do it. For sure do it. Fan. What will your genius mind create for us next? I can't wait. I can't wait for next year. I put out so much stuff this year, but I just couldn't stop thinking. I just couldn't. I had so many more ideas, and I've had the best time. It's so much fun. Diana, thank you for that reminder. I forgot about the bookmark, but I would have remembered when I got to it in the other journal, and we haven't done it. So we'll do it. We'll for sure do it. And you know what it is? It's the holly that we put in the wreath. So those 2 little holly leaves and then the little berries that we put in the wreath, that's what's on it. So, I mean, we actually kind of did it, but we can do it separate. All right, now, so this one now, and remember, they're always folded like this so that there's space in between for the sentiment and whatever else we're putting on the page. So now this sentiment is going to go on this side right here. So I'm going to glue that down. And it's going to be right in the middle. And now this one is the little angel, and she's just going to go right on here. Kathy, this is by far my favorite journal. I love this journal too. You guys, this has been the fun. I think we should do this every year, don't you? We just have a marathon day and we just do an inspirational journal of some sort. You know, it'll be something like this, but I'll think of something really, really good and really fun. And then should we just do this every year? We just make it an annual event where we just spend all day. We just spent all day making this journal, you guys. Wouldn't that just be so fun? Okay, Kathy's in, Simone's in, Marianne's in, Carmen's in. Oh, so many more marathon days. Oh my goodness, how fun has this been? You know what? It's 2:42, you guys, and it doesn't feel, I feel like we've probably been on like maybe 2 hours, 2.5 hours, not like this many, but 9, let's see, we started at 9, 10, 11, 12, 1, 2, 3, 5.5, actually 5 hours, but it's been so much fun. It's actually just been the best. Okay, so now I'm gluing this page in, and it's going to go flush right next to this one. Right in here, like this. Carol, okay, Jeanette, Jeanette says you have to ask. Karen, she's in too. Cheryl, okay. Kendra's still here. Okay, Kendra, you have to make an appearance next year then. Well, who knows where Kendra will be next year, so never mind on that. Joy, I can't wait to give this to my sister and daughter. Okay, I was just going to ask you guys that. Who are these journals going to? Who is the special person that is going to get one of these journals? Or now that you know how to do it, are you going to make, 2 or 3 or 10 more and give them to other special people in your life? So, I mean, I just, inquiring minds want to know. Oh, Marianne's for my mom. Your mom, this will be a treasure for her. An absolute treasure. And when we make that little book, just write a special note. Be sure to put the date, of when you created it. And just make it really special just to her. Tony says mine is a must keep and we'll make more. I get it, Tony, because I get so attached to my journals that I have a hard time giving them away. I think I've given one away, actually, that's all. Because I get so attached to them, and there's just so much fun to make, and they're just the best. Okay, after our little angel, so now we're going on to the next one. And this is the one with the journey. And so we're going to do the same thing. So see, again, 2 accent pages, the watercolor page is a bit bigger, and the frame. That's it. That's how they're all set up. So let's glue these in. So let's put the frame on. The frame's going to go on here. Okay, so the frame goes there, and then this is going to go on to this page. So let's just glue this on. And kind of go in, glue in like that. And then this one is the traveling one. So this is the one that says, and Joseph also went up from Galilee, from the town of Nazareth to Judea, to the city of David, which is called Bethlehem. And she brought forth her firstborn son and wrapped him in swaddling clothes and laid him in a manger. Love, love, love. That is going right here. When you cut these sentiments out with the frame, they just fit perfectly in here. So there's no issue. You can measure and cut them out in a rectangle, but if you want to make sure they fit perfectly, just cut it from the frame. It's the best way. Okay, so now we're going back to this style of page since we're alternating. And let's score this fold this along the score line, and then fold it back. And then this is going to glue to here. Aren't these so cute, you guys? I had the most fun making these. And it's really fun to see them all together. Okay, who managed to keep up and got them all made? May not be in a journal, but using the artwork for this year's Christmas. Yes, Carol, they'd be so cute. And use it with these scripture verses. Just there's your sentiment that would go inside your card, is that scripture verse. And you can print those off as many times as you want, you know, and use them as many times as you want. Okay, so now this one goes in here. Whoops, a little too high. Let's go down a little bit here. Okay, and this one goes on here. Okay, and now we are ready to glue this page in. So cute. And it's just going to go right here. Right here. And if you don't have good glue, this is the glue to get. This is the best art glitter. I got it on Amazon. It's not that expensive. It will last you forever. And it comes with this tiny little needle nose point. So you can see how tiny that nozzle is. You just put that on. It comes separate. And the glue is just the best. It dries really fast and it holds like crazy. Okay, so we've got our first pages in. Now we're going to do the center, which is a shepherd's. So that is this little bundle here. And there's 2 frames because we have 2 scripture verses for this one. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to put the pages in because we have to start on this side. We have to put them in on this side now and the same exact way. So I'm going to go ahead and just put these in because it's too hard to figure out where they go. And you can see the score line. So it would have to start, you know, about here. So it's just easier to put them in from this side. So let's just do that real quick. And we're going to start with this one. And then fold it like this. And it's going to go right in here, right next to that line. Perfect. And now let's do this one. And this one's going to go in right next to it. And one more. One more page, guys. Last one, and it's going to go right in here. Okay, like so. All right, now we can turn this over and we can finish it up. So let that dry just for a second. And let's do the middle. So I cut out 2 accents pages for each side. And that's where the frames are going to go. So let's just do those first. Let's do these first. Put these frames on here. One on one side. And one on the other. Okay, and these two now are the scriptures about the shepherds. So Luke 28:11, and there were in the same country shepherds abiding in the field, keeping watch over their flock by night. And lo, the angel of the Lord came upon them, and the glory of the Lord shone around them. And they were sore afraid. And the angel said unto them, Fear not, for behold, I bring you good tidings of great joy, which shall be to all people. For unto you is born this day in the city of David a Savior, which is Christ the Lord. So these are going to go in here. This one on the left. And this one on the right. And let's glue them in. And then this one goes on this side. Okay, and then the center, I used one of those dies again from that set. So from this set. So you can see they're made to layer on top of each other, and they fill up a bigger space. And when you've got this more open space, you can add these in here, and then you can still use your accent page, and you've got an extra decorative page inside here like that. So let's glue that together. And then where's our little sheep? These guys are going to go in here. So let's glue these together. Let's glue this down first. And then we want to leave this as a pocket. So we're not going to glue the whole accent page. We're just going to glue 3 sides of the accent page. So this is that about in the center. Looks like it, pretty close. And now this one, because we're gonna make this a pocket, so we're just gonna glue 3 sides, like so, because this is where we're gonna put that little bookmark. And I'm gonna leave just a little edge showing here, like that. And now this, whoops, this goes to here. Now that goes right in the center. So we've got our middle page done. And now on to the next one. And this is the wise men page. So the little wagon, and it's going to go over here. So we've got this one. And again, just that simple format. What the hell in the world did I get that stuck in there? Let's see what I do here. Oh, there we go. Oh, brother. Oh, wow. How in the world did I do this, you guys? Well, you know what? We're just gonna do this. Because I have no idea how I did that. There. Done. Problem solved. Okay, so now we've got our 2 accent pages. I've got our little backing. And now this guy is going to go on here. And then it's going to go in here. So cute. And now that will go right there on that page. Need another coffee, Bonnie? Me too, you guys. We are on the home stretch. We are so close to being done here, you guys. Hang in there. Hang in there, you guys. We're going to do it. We are going to do it. And yes, I do need another coffee. I literally drink coffee every day. I mean, all day. I literally drink coffee all day. Who does that too? Dinner is in the crock pot. Thank goodness. Oh man, I wish I'd have thought of that. You know what? It's going to be leftovers for us. So, I didn't think that far ahead. And you know what? I'm just not that great of a cook. So I will fully admit that. It's just never been something that I just, love to do. And again, I admire people who are great cooks. I just really admire that. But I'm just not a great cook. I know how to make a few things, pretty well. I have a few go-to things, but, unless I watch something on, a reel or something, on a Facebook reel, and it's some great recipe, or somebody's making a one-pot dinner, then I can do that. Diana, it's so much. And how about some caffeine? That's what we really need. So she's in Indiana. It's 5:58 where I am. Joy Rush, fish sticks and mac and cheese. Yes. Diana, chicken. Oh, you guys are just the best. Just the absolute best. Okay, so what goes with the wise men? Behold, there came wise men from the east to Jerusalem, saying, where is he that is born King of the Jews? And they saw the young child with Mary, his mother, and fell down and worshipped him. And when they opened their treasures, they presented unto him gifts, gold, frankincense, and myrrh. Okay, and this is going right in here. Right in here. And now, the next page. You guys, we're almost on to the last page. Can you believe it? Okay, so this is the baby in the manger. This one is going here. And let's glue it onto this page. Onto there, and then onto here. And then in here. Going on this last page. And the frame. That's centered. And this one, John 1:14, and the word became flesh and dwelt among us, and we have seen his glory, glory as of the only Son from the Father, full of grace and truth. And added to our journal. and glued in. Okay, and we are, can you believe it, on to the last page. And this is that little book and the pocket. So let's glue the scripture in first. So this is going to go here with this. And this one says, and here we go, for God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten Son, that whosoever believeth in him should not perish, but have everlasting life. Amen. And this is going in here. Okay, now the pocket I used, the pocket I used in my journal is from, let me show you, is from this set, and it's this pocket right here. But I took this one just because I wasn't sure if everyone had this set, and this one comes with the actual journal set. So I just went ahead and cut this one in case you don't have that. But here's what it looks like. It's this one right here. If you have this one, it's so cute in here. But if you don't have that set, you can use this pocket. This comes with the journal template set. And it will fit this little booklet just fine. So it's just going to go in here like this. We're just going to glue it down. Just right in here, like this. And then the little book. So this is how I do it. Here's a little die from this set. So it's actually the small one, this one right here. And I just scored it in the middle, and then I cut it down. So I cut it down to 2.5 inches. And that's the size of this rectangle die, 2.5 inches. And so I just cut a bunch of, a bunch of papers. This is just copy paper. And you can glue as many as you want in here. And this is just how I do it. And I don't know if there's a better way, but this is just how I do it. You could use a tape dispenser too. But I glue it in like this. And you can put as many pages in as you want. I just run just a little bead of glue across the top. And let's just put one more in. Just like that. And then this will just go right over the top. So your the cover, so here's the cover, and it'll attach here. And this is the same frame, I'm sure. Yeah, this is the same frame as the outside watercolor paper. So the rectangle die. And let me measure this. Or did I tell you this already? This is, oh yeah, 2 1/4 or is it 2 1/2? 2 1/2 by 3, and it looks like 3 3/4. is the rectangle size. But really, you could make this out of any of the rectangles. You just make the cover the same size as the page, and then put a front and back on it. So just like this. And then just glue this to it. Just glue this around it. And I think you could, you could probably do it with a stapler. You could staple it, but I don't know. I just found that like this was just the easiest way. And it's got this little decorative top on it, and it's so cute, and it all stays together. And then we can put our little lamppost on here. Isn't he cute? So cute. There we go. And it will fit into our little pocket, just like so. And you guys, we have this done. We just need to do the cover and our little clasps. So let's do the cover first, and then we'll put our clasps on, and we will be finished. Can you believe it? Shocking. You guys, shocking. Okay, now what did I do with the cover pieces? Oh my. Oh wow. Where in the world are those? In this absolute wreck of a desk. Hang on. I know they're here somewhere. Somewhere here are those cover cutout pieces. Now where? Let's see. I'm still looking, you guys. Oh, here, maybe? Okay, I think this is it. I think this is it, but where is the white piece? Well, this is going to be what we have here. And then our little wreath, which is so cute. We're going to put this on here, and then we're going to put our sentiment in, and then we'll put our clasps on. So let's glue this down. And again, these are from the die set that has this one. These are from this because it works on the cover. So the large ones that are on the outside are for the cover. See how big they are? And then you can layer. There's all kinds of different decorative edges, so you can layer them on here. So I'm going to just glue this on right now. And did I put that? No, this one. I need to glue this one on first. This one on. And see, this is also from there, but I just cut it down because I didn't need that big of a paper. It's going to go underneath here. So I didn't need to have it that big. So I really just need to have this much showing right here. So let's just glue that. That looks about right. Yep. That looks pretty good. So I'm going to glue this down now. Right to the back, actually down just a little bit, center. And then this will go right on here like this. And this one, I think maybe we'll just pop this one up. Pop this up. And let's see, one more here. And this will go right onto the wreath. And this will go right in the middle. Oh, come let us adore him. There we go. And where are the clasps? Oh, gosh. Okay, where are the clasps now? Because I know I cut those. Here they are. Okay, here's two. Where's the other one? Oh, my. You know, I don't know how things walk away, but they just do. How in the world do things just grow feet, grow legs, and just walk away? And where is that other one? Well, you know what? We're just going to have one clasp on here, which I think will be just fine because I lost this other piece. Okay. We're going to put this one right here in the middle. Let's glue this on. It's going to glue right flush to the edge. And the glue is only going to go right here in the middle. So that's the only place that we're going to put the glue. And let me just see if this is right in the middle. Looks like it is. So that's going to go right there. And then we want to put this together like it would be going. So we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And there we go. So now it's closed. And we're going to take this one. And lay it across like this. Make sure that it's straight. And then add our glue just to the middle. So make sure that's straight and exactly where we want it. And then glue that down. Okay. Oh my word, you guys, are we done? Okay, I want to just show you, because Diana asked me about that one stamp that goes on the bookmark. And here is the bookmark. Let me show you what it is. It looks like this. And I didn't cut this. I didn't cut it, but see, here's the little, this is the berries that we put on our, on our wreath. So this is the exact stamp. So if you want to make this, just stamp one of these and then just cut it out, you know, with this decorative little thing. And then the bookmarks are in that same die set, this one, in this die set. So there are two of them in here. And this is the one that I used right here. And you can just put a little berry on there and you can tuck that into the inside because we left that open. So this area right here is open since we didn't glue it. And so you can tuck that right inside, that little bookmark. Okay. Oh my goodness, you guys. Can you believe it? We finished it. Okay, I'm switching my camera around so that I can see you guys. How many you guys are still on? I cannot believe it. Thank you so much. Okay, so let me put this back up. You guys, that was the most fun. Absolutely the most fun day. I had the best time putting this together. Thank you for doing it with me. What a joy that was. I hope you are as happy with your journal as I am with mine. You know, Deborah, where do you get the colored cardstock for the outside of the journal? You can really find that anywhere. And what I found with these is that it's easier to just buy something that isn't printed like this. We have a craft warehouse by us, and that's where I got mine. And it's just, it doesn't have to be heavy cover stock, really. If you can find heavier weight cover stock, that's great. But because we are adding so much to these pages, they're pretty heavy. And the book itself is pretty solid because the paper, especially if you're using our paper pack, is 80-pound paper. So it really, really makes these these books substantial. So they're pretty heavy. But that's what I do. And I usually get a solid color now because it's really hard to find something that is going to work. The print on the front is going to work as well as the print on the inside if it's double printed. So Carol Meyer, what a great day. So fun. Carol, though I didn't paint along, enjoyed watching. It's hard to keep up. It really is. And even if I think I'm going slow, you're a step or two behind because you're watching what I'm doing and then you're doing it too. So it was a lot. I know it was a lot, but this will all be recorded and onto Facebook. And it has been the best and the most fun today. Now, one more thing before I sign off. I am going to give away 4 $25 gift certificates to the Art Impressions website. If there's something you need on there and you just haven't been able to buy it, I'm going to pick 4 winners. So all you have to do is in the comments somewhere, and we're not going to pick a winner for a week because we want to give people a chance who have not been able to be on live. Comment something, just comment the word Christmas 2023. Just comment that in the comments and we'll put you in the drawing for one of those 4 $25 gift certificates. So you guys, fun day, fun time. It's 3:18, so you know what? It's not dark yet. I thought, maybe we'll be on till dark. But it was the best. Did anybody finish a journal? Actually finish one? Did anybody do that? Because I would be so impressed. And did anybody finish just the watercolor? That was a big job just to finish that. So I'm going to go back through here and read all your comments because you guys have said just the kindest things to me and I just have had the best time. So keep your journal as a treasure or give it away to someone really, really special because they'll never forget it. And I wish you all just have a great weekend. I'll be back again next week and with another project and I'll see you guys all then. Thanks so much. I love y'all.